new set of parents we have, unfortunately, are children. Yes. Children are the ones raising children now. About age 14, 15, 16. They are the mothers we have now.
Hello, 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 hello. I'm so happy today, and you will know why. It's another time on the story time to tell your story. Today, I have a powerful woman. I brought a powerful woman to you today, and you guys need to commend me for that. She is the CEO of Avo Initiative for Women and Children Development and Safety. And she has a lot to share with us, a lot that we can learn from, a lot that will help our society. Please introduce yourself, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning from wherever you are watching from. My name is Omotayo Adebayo. I'm a development officer. I'm also a certified child safeguarding specialist. I work with women and children, and also men. So men who think they are left behind. So our objective is to ensure that we have a society where empowerment, opportunities, and protection are the same for everyone within the society. Nobody should be left behind. But particularly, we deal with women issue, children issue because they are a precious group of people.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what
We have. Okay. I would like you to share with us um, cases that you have attended to in the past, and even if it's up to this moment,
Okay.
you would like to hear.
Okay, actually, cases actually brought me into this career I'm in right now. And how did this happen? Sometime in 2012, we had the case of internally displaced persons in Kogi State, where there were floods everywhere and all that. So I felt,
Okay.
what can I do to also contribute to people's well-being, their safety, their wellness, and all of that? So at that point, I don't know Kogi State. I've not been there before. I just went from there. I took relief materials there to people, and clothing, whatever little I could do. So we took it there, and that was where the passion. It has been there anyway, but that was where the activation of the passion started from. And so that was the case actually of people instead of persons that were internally displaced. So then my work got me more into this. Where I used to work, I worked there for 10 years as the head of program, and we dealt with street children. We take children away from the street, take them back to school.
Wow.
For those that want to stay in school, we put them in school. For those that want to learn a particular vocation, we enroll them. Yes. And then the means of doing that is to we have enumerators that go into the streets. We profile them, their name, their age, gender, what led you to the street. Many of them don't even know their houses, so we put the burden upon ourselves to do what we call home tracing for them. So we trace their homes, which they might tell us the real address or the wrong address, but we know we're in for a journey. So as much as we are going, the child might decide not to show you the real house, and maybe having been able to make the child feel comfortable around you, the child might now say, okay, this is my house. I mean, it might be a place and go past for like three.
So you are saying that some of them will lie about their house,
definitely,
so that they will not go back there.
Definitely, because one thing or the other might have taken a child out of the house. It could be probably the child is maybe the parents engaged the child into hawking, or the child probably stole something very little, or the parents is such that one of the parents is dead, maybe a single mom, a single dad, or somebody that's maybe the child is staying with the grandmom, or the parent is an aggressive one, such that parenting style is aggressive, such that any little thing, you bring in the weapon of beating and all of that, and the child feels, oh, I'm no longer comfortable staying in my house. And that's therefore indigent children. We have also indigent children. Some of them are, away from homes because of one thing or the other, probably loss of the parents, and they want their independence. They just leave their homes, go back to streets, or some of them that probably they're into selling and they misplaced as little as 100 naira. They don't want to go back home. Wow. Because the parents were already, there's a laid down rule. If you misplace my money, don't come back home. So they strictly follow the rules and they will go back home. So what do? They stay on the streets. They meet with their friends who tells them, who gives them the process of street life. So they subscribe and they start their own. So how do they live such lives? They either beg money from people, or engage in a kind of work which we also see as child labor, because children should not be engaged in any form of labor. It is exploitation. So, when they engage in such a labor, probably some people pick irons, they take it to where they weigh them in return for money, and they do lots of things like that. So, when they are engaged with an activity that brings income,
Please,
trust me, they don't want to go back home.
I want to know what's the age range of this set of children, because I'm confused. How did we get here? Because when we say children, we are talking about less than 18 years.
Of course.
So what gave you the boldness, let me put it, to say, okay, I'm ready for the life out there?
Out there. And there is a pull factor actually. There's a pull factor. If their homes or their house gives them a push factor, because you said if you misplace my money, don't come home. So the pull factor on the streets too gives them options. That's the life of freedom. Nobody's telling you to bathe, nobody's telling you to brush,
But you are
nobody's
not
telling you
scared
to
of what
cook.
you will meet outside.
I mean, if we're talking about children, once they see their
That's
peers,
what I'm saying.
who
What
tell
gave
them
you
the
the
story,
boldness?
their peers tell them the story of street life, and how they've been able to pull through, and how they can also make some money. So they feel, oh, really? And by the time they test it once or twice, when they're on the street and they make money, they have opportunity to buy whatever they want. They can buy, anybody selling Hawking rice can come, they buy. Yeah, Hawking this, they buy. And plus, because they would have made some money from begging and from probably engaged in labor. And then later in the night, they pay as low as 50 naira to sleep in spaces outside in the markets, various markets within our society here. So once they're able to pay for a sleeping space, they feel, oh, the life has started. So that keeps them on the streets, and they don't want to go back home. And some parents too, probably from indigent families, they're not even searching for the child. Go back to here, Mawali. That's the word. So some of them, they don't have people that are checking on them, asking after them. So they start growing on the street like that until they become a significant order on the street. So those are the kind of children we work with. So we ensure that we don't increase the number. We have a lot of out of school children in Nigeria. We are close to, okay, world over, we have over 200 million, but in Africa, a number of them. In our dear Nigeria, there is a whole lot of street children in Nigeria, which we call sometimes out of school children. So, and it's becoming a menace. Going to your place of work, going out, and you see children everywhere. These are the future. That they should either be in school, being educated, or doing some other things. But you see them outside hawking and doing something, all dirty, not well kept. Their rights are being deprived, and yet we see it as a normal way of living, which is not normal. So those are the children we work with, and then children who are abused. We have a number of children, that irresponsible adults abuse them. I don't know what a man of 60 years will see in a child, 12, 13, and you feel that is the person you want to call your wife, or you say you want to have carnal knowledge of. I mean, how did we get there? Because normally children cannot give consent to sexual activity. Even if the child is looking like 18 years or the child is looking 25, and you ask the child, oh, I want to be your fiance or your boyfriend, and the child says yes, let us know today that a child's yes means no. Because children in no way can never give consent to sexual interaction. So whoever does that to a child is called rape, and rape is rape, and what's it called? The offense of rape is liable for life imprisonment. That's it. That's the punishment for rape. So some of those children, to take care of them, we have children that have been to they have had adverse childhood experiences. Maybe they witnessed the death of maybe a parent, death of their loved ones, or they were traumatized growing up, or maybe they were abused and then they didn't meet with nurturing care, or there was no facility for them to be placed in for maybe as an alternative care for them to get back their livelihood, get back themselves. Such children, we also work with them. Then we have some group of children we call there's some children that works in quarries. I don't know. Yeah, they are the ones that bring food into the table of some other people. So children are daily being exploited. And we also have trafficked children. They take them from their homes into other people's home in the name of domestic help. And it's so worrisome that children are now the ones taking care of adults, and they are the ones equally taking care of their fellow children.
Their
So how do we
siblings.
see, yes, or maybe siblings of whoever they're staying with?
Yeah, yeah.
How do we make wisdom out of a child waking up 4 a.m. to cook indomie for a child of his or her age?
Mm.
Or maybe to pick a stool and climb the stool to
To
wash
wash.
the organ's car. I mean, no adult should be comfortable seeing children engaged in that kind of a labor, but unfortunately, that's where we have found ourselves in the name of, oh, at least I'm helping you to raise your child, or at least I'm taking care of the child for
Wait,
you.
before you go further, did you see a video on social media? I think this week, one woman that videoed her house help saying that,
Oh my
oh,
God.
in your house you don't eat spaghetti. What we used to eat in your house help. She was videoing her and telling her, what do you used to eat in your house? That one said fufu and something. Do you used to eat spaghetti? You are eating my spaghetti. You are going back to your house now. Will you be able to eat spaghetti and indomie? What is spaghetti for crying out loud?
I don't know. She's like, that woman is in danger. She's dealing with something because who makes spaghetti a big deal? She's not compassionate anyways, because you don't have to make a child feel worse.
And if you see
than
this
you make the
child,
child,
that child age rate cannot be more than 12 years.
and you're using spaghetti as a
She's
base.
using
So,
as
she should have even done that to somebody of her age. Now, coming down so low to that level, it speaks of our own value as a person.
In fact, if he's mentioning pizza or something, we would have said, okay,
Foreign
how
food.
will this girl
Spaghetti is everywhere.
Abby?
People
Please,
are
you know, let me say this. I was not even ready for all these things I was saying.
Okay.
Because as we were saying them, my body is shaking as I'm talking to you. That what is going on in our society. The thing is, if you don't go out there, if you don't listen to people like this, you will not know what is going on. You will not know what is going on. It's only few that we see in our neighborhood. We think, okay, is this one? Whereas a lot are happening out there. Now, I would like to say, with all these things that you are doing, are you getting funding from the government, or how are you getting your funding? Because you have your own life, your family to cater for too.
Okay, yeah, so we have some very good kind Nigerians that support. We're not funded, we're self-funded, but I'm just trying to say we still have, aside government might not and will not give you all the money you need, because government also needs your compliments. They need your support. So we're doing this together, and since we are a non-governmental organization, we cannot leave all the care responsibility to fall on the government, because sometimes we are more passionate. So we see cases, we identify it, and then we run with the vision, but in collaboration with government. So the government, they have programs, a number of programs. Also, like now, we're doing stuff to tackle out-of-school children, and it's reducing gradually. It's a process, and then we're going to get there. So governments are making, policies that will help parents to keep their children in school. Like there was one I saw in Oyo State recently. I think policy on all children. No, there was not any child on uniform roaming the street. Yeah. So such policies are the government's responsibility to ensure that children are in school. So those are the collaborations coming from the non-governmental organization. We do lots of programs. So like our organization now, we just started with a new project which we call safeguarding. Yeah, we're trying to advocate for a child safeguarding policy for this dear Oyo State, so that children in educational settings, in health settings, community, everywhere will be safe. Everybody is with the conscious effort of safeguarding, that when you are with a child, you make sure you do no harm to that child.
I must say that we still have a lot to do in our nation. Okay, now I would like to ask, what are the challenges that you are facing at the moment, or maybe the challenges you have faced in the past and even at the moment?
Okay, there are lots of challenges because currently we have a new normal, and that's the new set of parents we have. Unfortunately, are children. Yes, children are the ones raising children now. About age 14, 15, 16. They are the mothers we have now. So they don't have the patience to parent.
Yeah.
They don't have the passion to they don't have the passion to parent. They don't even have the morals enough to raise a child responsibly. So the burden of parenting and welfare is vested in on NGOs like us, because we cannot see a child on the street. Maybe another child is carrying. I mean, first of all, know what happened. Is this child or is it your brother? Before you know, oh, I'm the mother and he's a menace, and that's what we have now. So the right parenting style is not there. Another challenge is, and such people, we have different kinds of special children we give birth to today. And they're from some of these parents, they don't go for antenatal, they don't do prevention. I mean, there are some kind of
They don't
children.
take their
In fact,
routine
do you
medication.
understand? There are some areas now that we are really delving into that people are not really talking about. Autistic children, they are children as well, and they should be careful. Children with cerebral palsy, these are preventable things. But you tell a woman to go for antenatal, they won't go. Take your drugs, they won't take their drugs. Do your normal tests, they won't do their tests. So when they have such children, they just want to abandon the child and then move on because they don't want anything to keep them with. So that is a bit of a challenge. Something that adherence to instruction can prevent. Why do we allow response? Response now is very costly. So we bring in a lot of money to respond because we cannot see a child in pain. A child in pain is no gain for anybody. So that is one of the challenges we are facing. And then funding is a challenge as well. There are lots of cases. When you respond to a case of a child probably abused, you need to move that child away from the environment where the child was being abused. Now, moving a child away from there, we need to place a child in a home. And to be sure that that home is also a safe haven for that child. And so if you place a child in a home, schooling, feeding, and all. So what if the child, clothing, So what if we don't have enough resources to do that? So, and we have lots of children we see on the streets and then we pick them and take them in homes. But funding is a challenge. Now, one of the challenges we're also facing today is parents neglecting their responsibility. You are in your house, as simple as cook for your children in the morning. If they have time to bring something in school, please give it to them, especially indigent children. Let them cook their wares. If it's torn, you can just get, your needle and thread. Make sure your child is presentable. But we have so much careless parents. They don't want to care. And as much as they don't care, they are still giving us more babies. Much more babies. So you have 2, 3, you can't even care for them, and you're going for as many as 7.
Do you even know that in this Ibadan, some people don't even know what family planning is?
They don't know, and some are not even ready. We have men that beat their wives for doing family planning. And we have. In indigent communities, they tell them, you don't do anything for yourself without my permission. And you don't restrict me because I love babies. But he doesn't have money to take care of the babies. So that is a menace. So we need lots of sensitization for these people. So we cannot do it alone. Everybody is a stakeholder in the affairs of children. And also women, because I really talk about children. Because of the person we started.
Please let me ask, do you go for therapy?
Personally?
Yes.
Oh, well, not all the time.
Because with this little that I've heard from you,
anyway, we're used to all this. We just
men.
So, when we see men like that, we take time to talk to them, and then while talking to them, they are still beating their wives. That's where domestic violence comes in. Men beating their wives because we went to do family planning, because the wife is thinking in the light of, Abba, you don't have enough money to take care of these children. And she takes a decision and you are still beating her. And we have a situation of also men telling women, I'm the head of the house and you don't have the say. Please, women, they have say as well. Their blood runs in their veins just like you. There was a test I did for some people in the community. We're told that they are used to beating their wives and that we should talk to them on domestic violence. So I went with a razor blade. So I called one of them out, can you please cut yourself from here to here? And he said, no. I said, please do. So he said, no, that was going to hurt him and all. I said, those are the pains you are inflicting on your wife. So you can't even take a bit of what you are giving out. So they couldn't do that. So we have lots of cases like that. Overnight you just wake up and you tell yourself, it is my house, pack and leave. Please, though, our men, there is a law we call violence against persons law. You know what that law says? Most men don't even like us to quote sections in that law. It says, if you're a man and you feel, oh, it's my house, I built this house, you're tired of, you don't like the wife again, you want her to leave you. Bros, and you go carry carry your bag and leave the house.
No,
It's
this
the weather.
Nigeria.
But it's not obtainable
Maybe
because
Nigeria.
so it's not even used at all. The message is there. So what are we trying to say? Men should appreciate their wives, love them, love the child. If cases of you want to part ways, the children are the receiver of the action. The consequence is on them.
Yes.
If I hardly see the blessing because in the initial stage it's always not easy. Even if you get court divorce and everybody goes their separate ways and custodies with either of the parties, these are some of the challenges we have. Please fulfill your part of the custody. If it falls within the hands of the woman, as the father, don't think of the woman's probably what she has done to you or you're holding something against her. Just think of the children who will receive all the consequences of your action. And that brings us to asking the question, why will children be the ones to suffer for two adults not being able to understand
each other?
It was not so from the beginning. So don't introduce a young child or children into your drama. Can you solve this thing as adults? But sometimes, if a relationship is toxic, especially the one that has beating, personally, I don't advise you stay. I tell you to first of all separate. Let everybody that needs sanity go and check himself.
There was a case in my neighborhood recently. There was a case in my neighborhood. I think the man and the husband is staying in Abuja. I think there has been cases of domestic violence. And this time around, the woman decided to leave. She left the children with the husband. Even the last child, who is
intentionally, or she was not, because there are two cases, she was not allowed to go with the children.
Intentionally. I think she left when the man was around.
Okay.
So even the child that is like a year plus, she left the child and to Ibadan. And maybe she now called the man to go and pick his children from school that she has left. Funniest thing, either the following day or day after, the man came with his friends from Abuja.
Okay.
Begging. They came to beg the parents of the lady. The lady insisted that she would spend 2 weeks, that she would go and take care of the children. She needs rest. I said, so this one, she has had it up to here. And I think somebody advised her.
And it's good what she did.
I'm telling you. Before even 1 week, within 1 week rather, the man was calling. And your baby will not recognize you again. She said within how many days? Don't worry, just leave me and my baby is my baby. Don't worry, when I'm ready to come back, let's see if the baby will recognize me or not. That was how. Now the lady has returned.
Okay.
And I'm sure at least there will be peace.
I think she needed that break.
I tell you.
She needed that break.
I tell you. I said if we have women like this, but some women, because of they are not empowered, they want to stay. And some women are lazy, let me put it that way. Some women are lazy, they don't want to do anything, they are just looking for I even see some people, they will call them Iyawo big man. Because they don't want
another club.
They don't want to work, they just want to spend money. And why spending this money you are receiving beating? Now, what advice do you have for women? Let's start from, because we are the ones, we have a lot to do. What advice do you have for them?
Okay, so dear women, we are the one that keeps the world going. And this age now is the time whereby we cannot afford not to have something doing. Yes. Not because we are competing with the men, but because we want to complement them. And because we want to be something. And then we can see the world is really changing. I mean, the economy is not really favorable. So you want to support. And I'm sure our fathers too see it as support. Because some people feel
your husband will appreciate you.
When not all, some of them will feel, is it because you are dropping stipend? That's why you think you have a say.
Oh, wow.
So when a woman is supporting the man, they should appreciate. So women should also do that. Don't leave the burden of welfare of the kids, of the family, to your husbands, do something as well. There is something you can wake up doing without being forced. That is where your passion lies. Pursue it, follow it, be somebody in life. Let your name be heard in history. And meanwhile, the success of a woman is the success of a man. Today, when they call you, especially if you are married, if they say you are Mrs. I mean, it is the man's name
That
that you are bearing, and then all glory goes to the name of the man.
man.
So because sometimes some men they are like, oh, maybe they are women are career women and they are not high up there. It is you that you are high up there. I mean, imagine you being the one in control of such a powerful woman. So women should stand up, also contribute to the society. You have a lot to give back. And families, we are the one that really hold on to families. You gave an example now. That means they couldn't cope with. Imagine school runs in the morning. You wake up to cook, do this, and so because we find it easy to do without being forced.
Yeah.
And it might be a bit of a task for men, especially the ones that were not raised to do stuff like that. So, as a woman, you have many things to give back to the society. You have your children need you, we need you, and you must eat the good fruit of your labor. So don't also work yourself out and then hustle. No, we need you alive. Life is very, very sweet. So if you have really labored, please stay, take care of yourself, check your mental health. Don't joke with your health as well. Take your medications. Just do everything you can, and most of it, and above all, be really, really prayerful because life is essentially spiritual, and that's for the women. Then for our children, you are right. I call you rights holders. You have rights too, and that doesn't mean you don't have responsibility. So as much as we have right, don't sit on that right and feel, oh, I have the right to do this. You also have a responsibility to yourself and to others. And then wherever you see that you have been exploited or you have been abused, please speak out. You have people that are listening to you, people that want to listen to you, and that cares for you and wants you to attain that great height God has in store for you as children. And for our daddies, definitely we respect you. We honor you. Keep being great. Family is a beautiful thing. Let family always stay together because everybody within the society must, live a very good life.
Wow. I believe we have learned one or two things from all she has said. I must say it's really been a wonderful time on the program today with all what we have had. And I promise to bring you another exciting story next week. Stay tuned, do like, comment, and don't forget to share our page. Thank you so much.